For people who are new here, 50% of this channel's contribution to humanity is this third-person character controller project. This is a series aimed to build the most powerful, scalable, yet clean character controller core. We use and explain usage of several patterns. We use best Godot features while avoiding the most bullshit ones. If you are interested, I have a playlist dedicated to it with about an hour of content about its creation from zero. Alternatively, I have a short video overviewing the results in its first 6 minutes. This video is the next overviewing evolution video that documents new features we developed during our Enemies series project, as well as some important bug fixes and technical debt liquidation. The two main differences this version brings are split torso technology we collectively invented and project's migration to 4.3. Migration is important but is actually non-existent. Literally nothing except some meta information is changed. It means that this codebase can be opened by both 4.2 and 4.3 executables, and all behaviors will be exactly the same. The version doesn't use any of 4.3 new functional, but our next series about parkour will use some, so I upgraded the project. The split torso technology is much more interesting. With it, we created a new subclass for move, torso partial move, that uses composition with a new class legs behavior. Torso partial move represents an action that is being performed by a higher part of our character, for example, lifting the shield to block, gesturing, or sheathing a weapon. This class manages said activity while delegating processing of the lower body to another entity. This legs behavior entity is also a state machine, but a much less complex than our primary one. And legs behavior actually uses our old moves as its states. I have two examples of legs behavior implementations. One supports sprinting and running, and the other one actually rewrites our locomotion to walking one. We are forbidden from sprinting and our maximum speed is limited, while an animation is also different. Animations are not ideal, but that's partly a problem of assets and partly a problem of correct skeleton sewing together. But I don't want to fix it for now, as in 4.3 version skeleton pose modification is changed for better, and a natural time and place to fix this will occur once we'll talk about SkeletonModifier in parkour or in its own series. These torso partial move and legs behavior abstractions can't live in a vacuum and are supported by a new animation technique to animate parts of the skeleton differently. I tried several approaches to solve this problem and I came to the conclusion that there is no better solution than to just have two animation players. Here's the node structure. I just use one animation player for torso and one for legs, and I mask them by a simple node that also directs their behavior, like synchronizations, blending transition, mod switch, yada yada yada. The code works and it is polished. If you wish to know more about this design and alternative solutions, you can watch these two videos, because our torso separation is a saga after all. Other changes are smaller and mostly speak for themselves. Here's the list shortly. All data transfer packages are now resources. This is not an original change and was proposed by Nezverse long ago, but only in this cleanup branch I finally quote codified them completely. Herbox and weapon became a little better by moving from signals of contact to scanning all possible contacts. This works slower and is discouraged by documentation, but documentation in this case forgets to say us that signal won't be fired if the collider is already inside one another when it is activated. This didn't behave as expected, as if our weapon was inside an enemy when our attack started, we could never connect. Now, Herbox works as expected and detects all intersections. Also, I changed self-ignore algorithm a bit. Now we are more flexible and ignored weapons are managed through groups. Right now our hotbox set to ignore weapons in the group player weapon, which contains obviously our sword. Area awareness layer that we used sporadically in our roll move and our boss battle now aid the raycast from our root bone downwards. Before we used it in our midair state to regulate transition based on the distance to the floor. Now this function is refactored to be more accessible to other parts of the program, while simultaneously making midair state cleaner. This change of area awareness level getting new functional is also a harbinger of upcoming parkour series. There is a small fix for a blocking behavior that previously didn't respect height and could walk on air. Now it transitions to falling down when walked into the pit. Similar to this, a rolling move that previously defied gravity as well now rolls into the pit correctly. I don't transition it to the fallen state because that's how Soul Series roll behaves. There is another fix tied with roll and move. This is what you will get if you press down roll input in the earlier version. The reason is our default transition logic doesn't transition if the best input was equal to the current state, which is obviously already the roll and move, and animation stops because we ran out of it. This was obviously an unintended behavior. To fix this, I redefined transition logic for this move, and I also reset animation timings for this exact move on enter. This allows us to hold onto the rolling input once and cycle rolls until we have stamina. We also have another of such behaviors here. It is the parent state, which now also supports pressing the button once and not releasing it. As you can see, this is a pattern. It is a finite animation behavior that allows cyclic transition to itself. We always do these two changes to our logic with this pattern. So potentially this is either the field or an inheritance target, but I want to think some more on this topic. Spamming inheritance for two methods is cringe, and I really don't want to have another boolean in the export fields. Right now it works as is, and to rethink this pattern is one of the rare technical debt units of this version. Speaking of technical debt, let's search for it. These two are a single entity. This one is the hit reaction and is sitting here purely because one of the enemies from our enemy series could push us away. Not criminal, and I kinda don't want to even touch it until we have some other effects, because without a concrete need it's hard to invent good solutions. And the last one is this line in landing state. So currently even this version contains one undesirable behavior in two manifestations. This edge clipping problem when we slide along the edge instead of falling down or ending our fall, and these strange cyclic landing animations when we fly near the surface. I added these commented lines to highlight the problem even more. So, with login, the reason on this epileptic behavior is obvious. Our mid-air transition uses our own self-written raycast to scan for floor distance, but our running and landing moves use Godot's built-in is-on-floor method that checks collider's contact with the surface. These two methods then go into a cyclic conflict because they send opposite signals. Both this behavior and edge clipping will be solved in a better way in upcoming parkour series. Right now it's kinda sits here. Aside from this problem, the project is pretty clean. I fix a lot of problems, and I also didn't include here any enemy's code. For example, the changes we made to player's node to communicate with our enemies. This branch is purely a controller, and although I want to stress that copying this code is not an intended usage and the series is developed to demonstrate the thinking roots, if you wish to use it as a template, this branch is the best entry point to do it. I also am setting this branch as a default one on GitHub, and also this branch readme contains carefully crafted scheme of our main cycle of calls. Feel free to consult it if you struggle to understand the flow of execution. Also feel free to ask me anything in the comments or in my Discord server, and of course if you really want to support the channel and this series, you can do it through Patreon, as these 6 wonderful individuals did.